and he has a question that's connected to Dragonflight.
All
Bring
right,
him up.
let's hear him. Ren, how you doing, brother?
Doing great. How about you?
Not bad, not bad. What's your question, bro?
Alright, so my question is, do you think it'd be cool if Deathwing returned via time magic and or going back in time for a raid tier, sort of like the Trial of Valor or a Nixia's Lair, and or seeing Deathwing pre-madness by going back in the past?
I would definitely like to see Deathwing in before he became Deathwing, so Nalfarian. I think there's a lot that needs to be answered for, and there's definitely a lot that we don't know about Deathwing. So I'm currently working on a video that's based on some of the spoilers that has come out, but I'll give you a quick overview. We now know that not all Drakthir are evokers. Only some of the Drakthir were gifted enough to actually become evokers. This, by the way, leaves the door open for anyone that is sort of wondering, will I ever be able to be a warrior or anything like that as a Drakthir? Yes, the lore literally states that it is a small percentage of Drakthir that actually is capable of being evokers. The others can't do it because basically in order to be an evoker, you need to be able to channel all of the magic of every single one of the Dragonflights if you're going to be able to do that. So basically, the lore already supports Drakthir, Drakthir being anything. So that right there is something that Deathwing needs to answer for that. Nalfarian needs to explain why the Drakthir were created in the first place, why the experiments in the way that it is. So I would love to see, and remember also, Nalfarian is considered, at least in terms of before he became Deathwing, to be one of the wisest of all of the dragon aspects. That was literally the thing that he was known for, was his wisdom. That is, of course, until he fell. So I would like to know exactly what that wisdom was, and then more importantly, what it was that he feared so much. So I would love to see Nalfarian in some kind of time warp. I don't know if Blizzard is going to do that, though, because we're already getting so much time travel in Dragonflight. I don't know if you guys have seen the amount of things that's being data mined, but there is an absolute incredible amount of sort of time traveling scenarios. These are seemingly very short story-based scenarios that you do with the Bronze Dragonflight, where they send you back in time to go do a bunch of things. Are we going to see something with Deathwing there? Most likely. We're probably going to see something with Nostormu and the whole Morazond fiasco that's going to play off at some point. When it comes to time travel in general, though, I want to see the Black Empire. This has never changed. Literally, since the first time we learned about the Black Empire, I have wanted to see the Black Empire. It is my ultimate dream to go back to Azeroth when it was still the Black Empire. And I don't mean the fucking budget Black Empire that we got at the end of BFA. I mean the one that Xalatath and Yogg-Saron explains, the one that they describe. That's the one that I want to see. You know, the towers, that our buildings pale in comparison to the magnificent towers that stood in Ny'alotha. The darkness, the evil that existed within Ny'alotha. That's what I want to see. So that I think more than Deathwing. Why specifically Deathwing, Ren?
I just thought it would be kind of interesting because, Dragon Soul, I personally loved Cataclysm, but a lot of people really didn't like the Dragon Soul raid.
Yeah.
And I also did not like the Deathwing encounter we had in the Dragon Soul raid, so I thought it'd be kind of interesting if we had like one of those shorter raid tiers in between raid tiers to redeem his boss fight. And then, it'd also be really cool to see what Neltharion was like before he became Deathwing.
Yes. The one thing that I will say, the Deathwing fight should have been a proper dragon fight. It should have been Deathwing lands and he is fucking humongous. He is huge. He is tail swiping. He is swiping. He is breathing fire. It should have been a fight on an epic scale. It shouldn't have been you're on his back and then he falls into the maelstrom and you fight this weird conglomerate of fucking fire and shit, and then he dies, right? So I could actually get behind a proper Deathwing fight, because he's a giant fucking dragon. It would have been cool, I think. So yeah, I can see that. Although, if I may, Ren, and I realize that's not really part of your question, but it is, I think, something that should be mentioned at least. I'm a little wary of the time traveling techniques that Blizzard is going to use this expansion. Lore and story is incredibly fragile. You know, if you make too many changes, you can so easily, and we saw this in Shadowlands, you can so easily fuck up so much of what people used to love about the story, because so many of us truly love the story. And I'm afraid that Denuser and the writing team may use time travel as a way to kind of, quote-unquote, rewrite a lot of the story for World of Warcraft. Now, that will piss me off. That will really piss me off, because you don't need to do that. There's so much lore that you can explore in this expansion in order to set up so much new stuff. Don't touch the old things. Don't screw up the old stories just because you think you can do something cooler in the future. So I am a little afraid of the time travel thing, and that goes with the Deathwing thing. Do I want us to time travel back to Naltharion or back to Deathwing? Yes. Am I afraid that might lead to Deathwing ultimately being fucking ruined? Yes. So I'm not entirely sure. Because one thing is for certain, and this is not meant to be a dig at Steve Denuser or anyone on the writing team, but one thing is for sure. The current writing team of World of Warcraft do not care about the old story of WoW. Denuser can't give two fucks about Cataclysm or Mist of Pandaria or Wrath or TBC or Vanilla. He didn't write those stories. He didn't play WoW during those stories. So for him, those stories are part of some old guard, before his time sort of world. So for Denuser, those stories are probably more of a nuisance because it stops him from being able to do other things. I just really hope that he respects those stories and make his own. Because I don't want Denuser to just keep writing the old stories. He can absolutely make his own lore and write his own stories, but keep the old world the way that it used to be, and then do whatever you want for the new stuff. There, I will follow you along on that journey, and we'll see where that journey goes. So yeah, I'm to answer your question, I would love to see it, but I'm also afraid of time travel, because even if you do everything correctly, time travel can so quickly become such a fuck up. It's so quickly it can become a fuck up. Ren, does that answer your question?
Yeah, that answers my question pretty good. Thank you.
It is my absolute pleasure. Thanks for asking, bro. Take care of yourself, brother.